Okay, it was a very special year last year with the Olympics. London, we had obviously James Bond, which is not an unbelievable image builder, but it sells a lot of watches. It's very, very, important. We had the Ryder Cup in the US, with all we're doing in the US market, very important with golf. So I think that we did a lot of, the brand had a lot of exposure last year, so I'm very happy. And sales are good. This year, I think we continue, obviously, from that point of view, it's a quieter year. We'll put emphasis this year on take advantage. We have no big event like Olympics to really push the coaxial message. Okay? I think it's a message that is so important for Omega. We introduced this in '99, which is 14 years ago. We now have a track record, and we made a fantastic film. I don't know if you've seen it, the TV film. Very artistic, because we don't want to do like a technical film. So the whole idea was to create like a emotional and artistic view of the movement. And we're getting people who are coming, because the digital is incredible. We had YouTube in the US and in China, all over the world. The feedback has been fantastic. We have people who said, look, I know nothing about watch movements. I don't even care what they are, but I want to know what this is about because your film is so great. And I'm very happy this has happened, because that's the whole aim was to get people interested, because a watch movement is not very, interesting thing to talk about. But for us, it's very important for our future, for Omega. Everybody asks me about China. Listen, number one, we've been there for 20 years. Ever since we've been there for 100 years, but let's say it closed up and they opened up again in '92. And Omega was the first brand really, with Rado, to go back into China. We've got an incredible distribution there, growth, Any growth has to have, like a staircase, staircase goes up, but you stop and you go up, next one you go. And China, that's what's happening today, So of course, brands who are coming in, I'm not talking about new watches, but I go there all the time, China. I see unbelievable development of the retail. It's incredible, to see all these new stores. Brands even I don't know, watches and outside of watches. So people came in 2010, 11, which were very boom years in China, and they had like X increase. They say, oh my God, fantastic. So the year after it's down to a little bit less, they get all worried. No, I don't see this at all. I think China is, what is good about what's happening now in China, the growth rate is getting normal. 8-9% is not normal for a modern economy. Yeah, Middle East, obviously, we know a few problems around, a few countries, not directly Middle East, but around. It's still, it's a great market, the economy doing well. And I think what's incredible now, changed over the years, is the importance of UAE and Dubai in particular. It's really become a center. But I think it's a very good thing, because it's given, it's like Hong Kong is responsible for what happened in China. It could never happen without Hong Kong. I think Dubai is a little bit the same thing for all the region. And, Saudi Arabia is still a big market with great potential. And, even markets like Egypt, we don't talk about too much, but it's true. And all the Gulf states, obviously. No. Middle East, we're happy. We have a good distribution there. We did a little bit of cleaning up, and we're very happy. Our number one market in the world is China. It has been for quite a few years. We're number one brand there. Let's face it, we're the first brand there. It was a virgin territory we went there. We managed to implant the brand. Everybody's coming now. And obviously, when you're alone, it's easy to do business than when you have a lot of other people there. But no, China's number one. But one market in particular I'd like to talk about now is the US, which, is a big market, obviously, we all know. Omega never had its proper position in the US. Certainly our fault also. We didn't have the right partners. And it's a difficult market for, the whole retail structure in the US is with the chains. It's not easy. And, a lot of companies early last decade, and 2009, the subprime, a lot of big chains, went Chapter 11. But now we decided to take the control of the distribution. We've kept some good partners. So we have now 30 Omega corporate stores in the US, our own stores, our own staff, we've trained them, and really the reaction has been fantastic. I'm really happy. Even in cities like Nashville or Sacramento that nobody thinks, and the retail environment is very, very healthy. I was amazed to see in the US the environment is there. And no, I think the U.S. is a market that, if the economy remains on track, it's good. And just maybe add a word in the same part of the world is Brazil, because now we have the Olympics 2016, and in Brazil it's a very tough market. The taxes are crazy, more than even that we think anywhere, even more than India or anywhere. It's really very difficult. And there we decided also to do away with all the middlemen and go directly to our stores. We opened 3 stores now last month. And the first time we've opened a store in Brazil, and the results are good. And now we'll develop it even more. So I think Brazil is a market with a big, big future. Obviously we open them with our partners in the Middle East for reasons that you know. No, we have Dubai. We have fantastic boutiques, and we're opening also in the other regions, in the UAE, in Abu Dhabi, and also we're going to continue to open boutiques. I think the opening boutiques today is a must for any brand like Omega, because the consumer doesn't want to buy a watch; he wants to buy a brand. Now you do have some multi-brand stores that can give this feeling of brand identity. There are a few, but in general, there's nothing like a standalone boutique. Not to make more money. I think it's not because of that. It's what the consumer wants. The consumer has been on internet, is checked. He knows or she knows all about the brand. There are how many magazines today in the world on watches? It's crazy. Every time I go to, in my hotel room here, I get all the big newspapers with FT, and everybody has a watch supplement. It's incredible. It's really crazy. So there's a big interest out there, and there's a lot of knowledge out there. So I think when the consumer comes into a store, he's probably made his choice already, and he wants to come in and talk and see the collection, see the brand. That's where I think a monobrand boutique is so important today. So important. So wherever we can, and wherever it's feasible, I think we'll try to. It can be our boutique or with a partner. This is okay. It's not the problem, but that's what I want to do. The Olympics is already a big endeavor. It's every 2 years. Every 2 years, we already have about 300 people today in Sochi for next year's Winter Olympics. We have 100 people. These are timekeepers and technicians in Rio. So it's already an enormous endeavor. And all the Olympic sports, the main sports like track and field, or like swimming, and for Winter Olympics like bobsleigh, we're also involved in it outside of it. So I would say in that field, we're not looking for new sports per se. Alpine skiing, we've left there's more to Longines, who's doing this. Okay? You never say never, but for the moment, I think Olympics is already enormous job. Every 2 years, it's a big endeavor. Now, I come back to the word perception. I think this is the key to the, Omega is a brand with an incredible history. You mentioned the moon, Olympics. I could name 20 other things that were done. But, I think that at the end of the day, you see the competition there is out there, and you see a thing like this Basel Fair. Honestly, if I was a consumer today, I open a watch magazine, what do you buy? There's so many brands out there, so many people, so many messages. So I think we have to be consistent, which is what we're doing, to be coherent, and to get the perception from Omega. Because at the end of the day, people will buy what they want to buy. The world used to be more what they have to buy. Now it's changed a little bit. It's what they want to buy. A little bit. People are becoming a little bit more independent in their choice. So I think that's what we're really working on. That's why I think what we have with the Co-axial, we're trying to give because people forget that. I don't want to be known only as a watch who went to the moon. It's not enough. It's important to know that we have the best movement out there, that we have fantastic designs, that we have, we're doing an incredible job on social responsibility with Orbis, with our Planet Ocean. So all this is very important. So it's a lot to do at the same time. And Olympics is, and we have James Bond to help us sell a few watches, so that's not bad.